Hello, welcome back to another crime prevention measures lesson, and today we're going to be talking about pickpocketing. 大家好，今天我们要讲的就是扒手。So first I'll talk about how pickpocketing can happen. Then next, what are some ways preventive measures that we can take to deter such crime? And lastly, what is the punishment for someone who pickpockets? 所以今天主要的内容就是我先会讲扒手是会通过什么方式发生的，then 下一个就是一些预防措施，then 最后就是如果那些扒手会有什么样的惩罚。So first, how it can happen. So one way, there are a few ways that pickpocketing can happen. The pickpockets nowadays are very creative, but very typical. So the first common way is that they will like pretend to bump into you on accident, and then they will say like, oh sorry, but then when they bump into you, right, that was the moment where they try and steal your wallet or your phone from your pocket. 所以扒手是如何发生的呢？所以有时候这些扒手其实通常是用一些类似的一些方式来偷你的东西。所以第一个就是扒手就会在一个人群中撞到你，但他会假装好像是不小心撞到你的，但他会哦 sorry 这样。可是当他撞到你的时候，他会在那个时间内从你口袋里拿出你的拿走你的手机还是你的钱包还是其他贵重的东西。所以因为你不知道他拿的东西，因为他撞到你嘛，所以你没有去想他去拿的东西。Okay, so this is one way that it can happen, and it's because they use it as a distraction when they bump into you. So your attention is in like the bumping and the person not the action. Okay. So the second one is that this one is like places where you eat, like eateries or restaurants. Like some people, you like to put your phone or your wallet on the table, then you put it at a distance from you. But then right, you are busy like talking to your friend, or you're busy using your phone and your wallet's on the table, and that's when the pickpocket sees it and they're like, oh, okay, that's my target. Then they will silently go over to your table and just swiftly take away whatever valuable is on the table without you even knowing. So when you find out, it's actually too late already. Okay? 所以另外一个情况就是当你忙着吃饭还是跟别人讲话的时候，那个扒手可能会发现，诶，这个人把那个钱包放到这样远，在桌子上放到这样远，还是那个手机放到这样远，他会安静静的走过来，走过你的桌子的时候，就把你的东西就偷走了咯。但当你发现的时候，已经太迟了。Okay? So the next one is, sometimes when you're on the bus or the train, then you start feeling sleepy. Then when you fall asleep, right, sometimes your phone is in your hand or your wallet is on your lap or like your bag is not really like closed properly, then they can see your things inside. So when you fall asleep, that's when they try and take your valuables also from your hand or from your bag. 所以另外一个事情就是当你大巴士还是在地铁上睡觉的时候，还是睡着了，不知不觉的睡着了，那个扒手会看到，那会偷偷把你的手机从你的手中拿走，还是如果你的书包还是你的包包好像开住很容易拿东西的，那他们可能会很小心的去把你的东西拿掉。Okay, then another thing, another way that it can happen is that the pickpocket, right, it's very similar to the bumping one, but this time they may spill something or like they trip on you, then trip over you, then that's their distraction. Then in that moment, then they will take your stuff away also. Okay, 所以这个情况跟第一个差不多一样，就是那个扒手会我这个是错的哈。Okay, so 那个扒手会好像假装不小心把东西倒在你的身上，还是不小心好像差点要跌倒。then 在那个时候因为你关注他把东西倒在你你的身上还是什么，但你没有想其他东西吗？所以在那个时候他们会把你的钱包还是你的手机拿走。So after knowing all these situations, Some of you already might be thinking of ways that you can prevent it, right? So now I'm going to cover the preventive measures. Okay, 所以现在我会讲一些预防措施。So first thing, don't count large amount of money in public, especially near banks and ATMs, because if the person leaves the house or goes to a place because they already know they want to steal something, like money in particular, then they will put themselves near banks or ATMs or pawn shops sometimes. That's where a lot of people will count money and all this kind of thing, ma. So don't count this kind of large amounts of money, or just don't count money in general when you're in banks and ATMs, because that's where they like to target people. OK， 所以当你在 ATM 还是在银行的时候，不要算很大笔的钱，也不是只是在银行还有 ATM， 总之是当你在外面的时候，你就不要把大笔的钱拿出来。不要去算，因为你在算的时候那个扒手可能会在旁边跟你一起算的 ，OK？ then 他也会知道你身上有几千块还是什么 ，OK？ 所以 when you're counting money, right? At like openly, you never know that maybe a pickpocket in the distance is also counting the money with you, okay? Then when you're at the bank and the ATM, another good thing to do is to look out for people who may be standing too close to you. So at these kind of places, right, people already know that you're not supposed to stand too close to each other. So when you realize that someone is standing too close to you, that they can see your PIN number and all that, right, that's where you need to be careful a bit. So if you think that someone might be watching you, then maybe you leave the bank first and then later on then come back. Okay? 所以也是在银行或者 ATM 的时候，你就要注意那些跟你站得太靠近的人，因为当你在这些地方的时候，我们已经知道了，我们不应该跟别人的距离要有一些要有一些距离啦。所以如果你看有些人站得太靠近，他们可能是故意的，因为他们可能要看你的密码还是什么东西。OK， 所以如果你觉得有人在跟踪你还是什么， then 你就离开那个银行先， then 等一下子才回来，还是下一天才回来。Then the next thing is, if someone bumps into you or anything ever happens with you between you and someone else, check and make sure that your valuables like your wallet and your phone are still with you. OK， 所以每当有人碰到你的时候，还是有什么东西发生啦。then 你马上就要去检查你的贵重的东西，好像你的钱包，还有手机呀，还有其他贵重的东西。And the next thing is to try and stay awake on bus and train journeys. If they are short, then try your best lah. But if not, if you really need to sleep, if you feel very tired, then make sure that your valuables are kept deep inside your bag, so that like the zips and the buckles are all closed and whatever, so that the person will not even think that there's a chance of taking your stuff. Then your bag, right, should be on your lap with your hands over it or between your legs on the floor. So at least when there's any movement, right, you will know. Okay, so that's what I do also lah, because I always sleep on public transport. So I'll make sure that my things are secure with me. And I make sure that I keep my things in a way that everything is in contact with my hands or my legs. So if it moves, right, I will instantly know. OK， 所以当你搭巴士还是在地铁上的时候，你尽量就不要去睡觉啦。可是如果你真的觉得很累，需要睡一下子，那你就把你的贵重的东西放在你包包里，那放在最深的一些地方啦，一些角落，所以那些扒手不会想去拿你的东西。Then 当你的包包应该放在你的脚上，好像then 你的手盖住那个包包，或者在地上 then 你的脚夹住那个包包。所以如果有一些人来动你的东西的时候，你会知道吗？因为你的书包会动。Okay? And then when you are in when you're in eateries or when you're in supermarkets, don't put your bags or your valuables too far away from you. So don't leave it in your trolley, don't put it on chairs, like don't put it on like the chair opposite you. Like sometimes you can put your things next to you, like in the next chair, but also just be careful when you do that lah. Or try to like tie the bag strap around the chair so that they cannot just swiftly take it away. Yeah, so keep it inside all times. Okay, 所以把你的包包and also put your bag in the front of you. So when you're wearing your bag, right, especially those that can be opened very easily, put it in the front. So don't right to the back. Yeah. 所以第一个就是你的书包还是你的包包尽量放在前面啦，不要背在你的后面。Then 当你在外面的时候，不要把你的包包，好像你去 NTUC 那些不要把你的书包放在你的推车里面，或者你去吃饭的时候，那你不要把你的书包放在你的对面的椅子，你要放旁边的椅子可以，可是你可以去找一些方法来把那个包包好像那个带那个绑起来啦 ，OK，then 所以如果那个扒手想拿你的东西，then 不会那么容易拿嘛 ，OK，then 也是不要把你的东西放在看不到的地方。So what is the punishment for people who pickpocket? So pickpocketing, right? You can end up in jail for up to 3 years, or get a fine, or even both. So sometimes the police will also make you return the goods lah, or whatever that they steal. So yeah, so there's a punishment to pickpocketing, and if anyone tries to pickpocket you, there's a punishment. So make sure you report it to the police. Okay? 所以扒手不是扒手扒手，那些扒手会被判坐牢不超过3年，或者有一个罚款。那他们如果犯了很重的法，还是偷了太多东西，那可能会2个都有 ，OK？ 那有时候那个警方也是会叫他们把他们偷的东西还给那个主人 ，OK？ 所以如果你觉得有人想偷你的东西，还是偷了你的东西，就去报警，因为他们会被处罚的 ，OK？So now on to the case study. 所以现在就是活动时间了。So this case study is also in your worksheet. So if you miss it in this video, it's okay. It's on your worksheet as well. So this is a true story. It's from the newspapers. So this 51-year-old man was arrested for trying to pickpocket someone at a taxi stand at Ang Mo Kio Hub. And he did it a few times, and someone filmed it. Okay, because the person was standing too close to the victim already, and it was quite obvious that he was trying to take it out from the guy's pocket. So the guy didn't notice lah, but the person that filmed it and posted it on Storm found out and then filmed it, and that's when the guy got arrested. Okay, 所以今天的事件就是这是一个真的故事哈，是一个有发生过在新加坡发生过，我是从报纸找到的。所以有一个51岁的男子在Ang Mo Kio Hub因为扒手而被逮捕。所以有一个见证人看到那个男子一直想把受害者的钱包从口袋里拿出来，但他已经试了很多次所以他那个见证人就决定把那个扒手的动作拍下来，拍一个视频 then 用来做证据咯。所以因为这个人就拍了一个视频 then 他就能被逮捕。所以那个扒手跟那个受害者站得很近 then 那个见证人就觉得有一点奇怪了啦，所以才发现那个男子其实在想偷那个另外一个受害者的钱包 ，OK， 所以这就是那个事件。如果你现在还没有看完，你可以看那个作业，因为作业也是有。So after reading the case study, on your worksheet, write down the preventive measures that the man could have done. So what could the man have done to prevent the pickpocketing from happening? So even though there are preventive measures, it's also important to know that if someone wants to steal something, in the end it will still happen lah. So these are just some measures to help yourself, but in the end, if things get stolen, it's not your fault. Okay, it's because what the person has done is wrong. But in this case, right, what could the man have done? Could he have been more alert? Could he have put it in the bag? So y'all go and think and then write it down. Then the second thing is, so this man got arrested, right? So what is the penalty for him for pickpocketing? What is his punishment? So if you are not sure of these two answers, you can go back to the video and check the different sections. Okay? 所以你们读了那个事件后， 你就觉得如果你是受害者，你可能会用一些哪些预防措施以免这件事发生。所以虽然我有讲可以做一些东西来避免这些扒手偷你的东西，可是如果有些人想偷东西，他们就会偷的啦。所以如果有一天你的东西真的被别人偷了，也不是讲是你的错啦，对方是犯了法，做了错事，我们不应该偷东西。可是在这个事件里，那个男人可能能做哪些东西来避免这个事发生呢？他可能他应该是不是把他的钱包放在书包里还是什么 ？OK， 但第二个问题就是那个扒手的惩罚是什么？所以你们看完了，那你就把你的答案写在作业里。So if you have any questions, you all can come and ask me as usual, and just finish the worksheet and then we can go through it together. OK， 所以如果你们还有什么问题，你们可以来问我。等记得要做那个作业，等我们可以一起那你就可以跟我分享你的答案。OK， so that's it for today.